You're in Braves country.
Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. You're listening to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Hey Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with one inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first, and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer cooled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. "That ain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one," the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpire!" shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With the smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner. Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball.
What's up, Braves Country? Looking forward to a great Atlanta Braves season. See y'all at the ballpark. Love you.
Lineup for Braves Country by DM Magee, 2024. A is for Aaron, the Hammer and Hank, the real home run king. Take that to the bank. B is for Bobby. Cox never cowered. He'd give Blue quite an earful on his way to the showers. C is for Chipper. Don't call him Larry. He would show up in Shea, the Mets he would bury. D is for David. Justice he'd bring. A Game 6 solo brought Atlanta their ring. E is for Eddie Matthews. 512 bombs away. Lit skies from Boston to Milwaukee to the A. F is for Fred. McGriff dog-biting crime. A fire was lit the day he arrived. G is for Glavine. Southpaw winds and kicks. Changing speeds east and west. A gem in Game 6. H is for Harry and his brother George Wright. The father of baseball, Boston pennants in flight. I is for inning, ending double play. Riley to Ozzie to Olsen all day. J is for Jones. Andrew let her fly, and his gloves in center is where singles would die. K is for strikeouts, a plenty from Strider. The quads in the stash, getting swings from that slider. L is for Lopez. Javi to B-Mac. Travis and Smurf, we've been lucky to see that. M is for Mad Dog. He won 355. Could swat flies with the changeup and still bust you inside. N is for Necro. He got to the hall by bending and knuckling and floating that ball. O is for Otis. Old Nixon could fly. The catch at the wall baffled our eyes. P still for Peterson. We were all rockin' pearls. With Eddie and Jorge, we were out of this world. Q is a quandary for why Dale is not in. Murphy MVPs again and again. R is for ranking. The top pitchers lore. Remember Kid Nichols, 107 WAR. S is for Smoltzy. The big three in the hall. When the game's on the line, you give John the ball. T is for Tyler. Matzik and the gift of 2021, the entire night shift. U is for Chavez, but we say Uncle Jesse. The frames, the release, kept the batters guessing. V is Van Weeren. Skip Carey 2. Don Ernie Joe, the tales from the booth. W is Warren. Spawn Johnny Sane. They'd ride him in Boston and then pray for rain. X is Mazzoni. Yeah, X marked the spot. Leo rocked next to Bobby, and his pitchers stayed hot. Why it makes us feel young. The game's main appeal. Chopping through the battery, there's no better feel. Z is for Zip Boom Bam, Ramalama Ding Dong. Throughout the summer, we sing that song. From AJ to eyeglasses and a hell of a pen. Mad Max, Uncle Charlie, win after win. A cannon from short, and RC you later. Acuna Matata, there is no one greater. Though you can't fit them all when you just A to Z. Think of your favorites in the rafters we see. I started with 3, then 10, 25, 47, 31, and of course 29. Let's not forget 21, 41, 35, the great 44, or 755, and old number 6, who led his great teams. The pennants were flying. It felt like a dream. From Boston to Milwaukee to Atlanta's TBS, a family, a tradition, Braves Country's the best. Lineup for Braves Country by DM Magee, 2024.
laugh like me, you can't smoke like me. So don't try and be like me. Let's party together.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
Baseball is a beautiful thing. It's more beautiful in an old park. It's asymmetrical and quirky. But even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the field fans out, the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it. The fact that that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing, Daryl, Daryl. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win.
And there's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone.
Ground ball stabbed by Folk. He has it. He underhands to first for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won baseball world championship. Can you believe it?
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. But you can apply those same three criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series. Cubs win. What a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry.
Braves fans are on their feet hoping for some kind of a bleeder or a seeing-eye single. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball hit high and deep down the right field line. It's going back, back, back. Is it fair? Is it zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Ram-a-lam, ding dong, a 3-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 1-1 lead. She's gone, baby!
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America. You get in a ballpark. And it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
Swung line drive left field. 1 run is in. Here comes Green. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe.
You're in Braves country.
If there's a bigger thing going on right now, I don't know what it is. We're down to 1 strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first, and here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop all throughout Braves country. Pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose was
7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. You're listening live, and the scene is Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia, where we're set to bring you pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac Magee. Here are your starting lineups for today's action. Leading off and playing second base for the Milwaukee Brewers, it's Bryce Terang. 6 home runs, 45 RBI, 32 stolen bases, batting .262. Batting second, playing left, Jackson Chourio. 12 home runs, 46 RBI, 13 stolen bases, batting .266. Garrett Mitchell is in center field and batting third. He has 1 home run, 6 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .313. William Contreras is batting cleanup and playing behind home plate. He has 12 home runs, 59 RBI, 5 stolen bases, batting .279. Willie Adames is batting fifth and playing short. 17 home runs, 71 RBI, 12 stolen bases, batting .246. Bowers is at first and batting sixth. 8 home runs, 35 RBI, 8 stolen bases, batting .212. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, Rhys Hoskins. 19 home runs, 57 RBI, a .220 average with 2 stolen bases. Sal Frelick is batting eighth and playing right. A .267 average with 14 stolen bases, 20 RBI, 2 home runs. And Ortiz is batting ninth and playing third. He has 7 home runs, 6 stolen bases, a .242 average, 32 RBI. On the mound for the Milwaukee Brewers, it's Colin Ray. He's 9-3 with the 3.59 ERA, a 1.2 whip, 115 innings pitched, 90 strikeouts versus 103 hits, 35 walks, 16 home runs served. His last outing was against the Atlanta Braves. He went 5 1/3 innings, 2 earned runs, gave up 2 home runs, and struck out 6. He'll be going head-to-head with Bryce Elder. Elder is 2-4 with a 5.67 ERA, a 1.54 whip, 46 innings pitched, 56 hits allowed, 40 strikeouts, 15 walks, 6 home runs given up. Bryce Elder last week against the Milwaukee Brewers went 6 1/3 innings, gave up 1 earned run, 5 hits, and struck out 7. Backing up Bryce Elder in the bottom of the first inning here at Truist Park for your Atlanta Braves. In right field, it's Jorge Soler. 12 home runs, 41 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .235. Batting second, playing third, Austin Riley. 15 home runs and 47 RBI. He has a .261 average. Batting third, the designated hitter, Marcell Ozuna. 32 home runs and 86 RBI. He's batting .300 on the year. Batting cleanup and playing first, it's Matt Olson. The Ice House has 18 home runs, a .226 average, 53 RBI. Batting fifth and playing short, Orlando Arcia. 11 home runs, 33 RBI, batting .226. Travis d'Arnaud is behind home plate and batting sixth. 11 home runs, 35 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .264. Eddie Rosario is batting seventh and playing left. 10 home runs, 35 RBI, 9 stolen base, batting .177. And what do you know? Maybe they're listening. Whit Merrifield is batting eighth and playing second. 3 home runs, 11 RBI, 13 stolen bases, batting .200, which puts Kid Kelnick batting ninth and patrolling center field for your Atlanta Braves. He'll be hitting right in front of Jorge Soler with his 12 home runs, 33 RBI, 6 stolen bases, batting .233. Our pick to click tonight is Marcell Ozuna. He went 1 for 3 versus Rhea and the Milwaukee Brewers with a home run back on July 29th. Calling balls and strikes behind home plate tonight, it's Carlos Torres. First base umpire, Brian Walsh. Second base is manned by Ryan Wills, and down the third base line, it's Chad Fairchild. First pitch tonight is expected to be around 89 degrees with the wind blowing out of Truist Park to right center field at about 7 miles an hour. Your Atlanta Braves come in 60-51, 9 games over 500. The Brewers are 13 over 500 at 62-49. Milwaukee 31-28 on the road. The Braves 32-23 at home. Atlanta comes in minus 130 on the money line. The over-under is 9.5. We'd like to thank all the Country Club members for helping support the channel. Please become a Country Club member today. And if you haven't already, smash that like and subscribe to Braves Country Radio. Well, it's about that time. Grab you a cold one. Find you an armchair. It's Braves Brewers Game 1 of a 3-game set. Braves look to win the series here at home versus Milwaukee. They took 2 of 3 in Wisconsin last week. You never know. The season series could be a tiebreaker down the road. We've got Respect Your Elder emoji kicking for you Country Club members in the chat. So warm up those chop arms, Country Club. It's good to be back in Braves Country. Get your game face on. Good evening, Braves Country.
Get this bus moving. Stop. Come back. Too late.
Roll call! Yeah! Roll call!
You're in Braves Country.
Country. See everybody in the chat. Time for some roll call. I saw Brian said, you know we don't talk about enough in here is politics. Yeah, let's sprinkle some religion in there too, Brian. I'm sure that'll turn out. Good evening, Country Club members. I see Charlie in the chat. Once again, if we don't say your name, jump in the chat. Sometimes we have to scroll this pretty quickly. We see Country Club members Charlie, Mark, Ricky Ricardo, Willis. What you talk about, Willis Mathis? We see AY Country Club member, Edward Spry Country Club member, Gary the Real McCoy Country Club member. Scroll back here. Every time I have to restart the page, lose folks. I think that's, I don't see, I thought I saw a goat, but maybe I didn't see goat. But just in case he pops in, good evening, goat. Also in Braves Country, we see John Underwater. We see Brian Andrews. Justin. Dirty D. Daryl. Good evening, y'all. I think I said John, but maybe I didn't. Okay, I thought I saw Goat earlier. Like I said, this one page, if I recycle it, refresh it, I guess I should say. Some of the folks disappear in the chat. I don't know what the reasoning is. I've missed it. Daniel. I see Daniel Berry. Razor. Is that Razor Quack? Razor Quack. Quack, quack. I think I'm caught up. If I missed you, let me know, and we'll shout out to you. So pick to click tonight. I think I told it on there. I'm picking Marcell Ozuna. I'm going to take the Braves to win 6-3. So we're going Big Zoo and 6-3 your score. Hopefully, I'm a little concerned, to be honest with you. I'm a little concerned that, and look, Bryce Elder's pitched pretty well his last few times, but he's facing the same team 2 times in 1 week. And that doesn't worry you if it's if Strider or Sales going out there, but it does worry you when it's a kid like Bryce Elder who's trying to find a way to make things work here as Ronaldo Lopez. So I don't remember who it was. Someone was asking about Elder. They didn't realize that he got recalled yesterday. What happened was they finally put Lopez on the IL. And they're doing the same thing that they did with some of these other players. And it's driving me batty this year that this is what they're doing, because they go several days with a man down on the roster. They've done this all year long. They did it with Riley for about 16 days. They did it with Harris for several days before they finally put him on the IL. And it's nonsense. It's, with the everyday players, it's only a 10-day. You're not going to rush the guys back out there. Get your extra guy there. And I do remember specifically there were 2 games the Braves lost in that stretch that could have been helped by an extra base runner. So that drove me nuts. And now they have put Lopez on the IL after 8 days since his last start. And so that's why Elder's coming up, taking a spot. We'll see if he stays up there. They may send him back down and bring up another bullpen arm, and then they would ride it out and then maybe make another move, because it was backtracked to August 2nd, which means that he can't come up for about 11 days. Atlanta Braves are wearing their home whites, red bill, blue hat, A on the chest, Braves across the chest in red outlined in navy. Milwaukee Brewers are wearing their road blues, gray pants, blue tops with the Milwaukee in gold written across, and their classic Milwaukee Brewers cap with the classic logo. We're just about set, and yes, sir, it is baseball time in Braves country. First pitch on the way is dumped into left field. It is down for a base hit. Bryce Terang, 1 pitch, 1 hit here in the top of the first. Braves nothing, Brewers nothing. Something that you may not have seen. They announced today via The Athletic. I'll have to pull this guy's name up. I'm not familiar with the writer. He is a NASCAR writer, and this will probably excite a lot of NASCAR fans and Braves fans. Is the first pitch on the way from Elder to Churios up top for a ball. It's 1-0, sinker misses high. The Atlanta Braves next year versus the Cincinnati Reds is the 1-0, down and away, ball 2-2-0. They are going to be playing the game in Bristol, Tennessee at the Raceway. So there will be like 130,000 people there. Elder flips it over to first, 2-0 count to Churio. I don't know why, but I cannot find the tweet. But anyways, it came out today. The 2-0 pitch. Outside wide, called for a wide strike. We'll take it. It's 2-1. So a 2-1 count. So it's pretty cool because I've seen football games played there before. The 2-1 pitch swung on, chopped foul off the foot of Churio. 2-2. I know we shared it on our Facebook page. I'm just going to go to there to read it. I thought I had saved it on the... Here it is. Bristol Motor Speedway will host MLB game. I believe it's the first time they've ever done that with the Braves and Reds in 2025. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Runner goes. Here's the throw from Darno down to second. Be a stolen base. One away. Jordan Bianchi, who I guess is a NASCAR rider for The Athletic, is the one that broke the story. But anyways, the nuts and bolts of it is they don't have a date yet, but Reds and Braves are going to be played Bristol Motor Speedway. I would assume it may just be one game, but they may play multiple games. I would think it's going to be like a 2-game series. That's what I would think. That's normally what they do when they put them in odd places, like when they put they've had a 2-game series in Mexico. Of course, they've had them over in London. Anyways, back to the game. Runner at second. 1 out. Mitchell, batting .313, steps to the dish. First pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Ball gets away. Terang takes off, and he'll have that stolen easily. It'll be a wild pitch. That won't be charged to Darno, and the runner will not be given a stolen base. But now the Braves defense will have to come in. Braves nothing, Brewers nothing. The 0-1, outside wide changeup, 1-1. A 1-1 count. Pitch on the way, swung on, chopped foul, it's 1-2. So once again, if you're just joining us or you don't follow the team that much, Elder was brought up because Raylo has gone to the IL. So the 1-2 count, infield in, pitch on the way, in the dirt, good block by Darno. Terang has to stay where he's at. Count goes to 2-2. Standing on deck is William Contreras. So a good hitter, but he is a double play possibility. The 2-2. Infield, basically standing on the grass. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Got him with the four seam, 2 away. Good pitch by Elder. Now the infield can move back. The other great news, I was getting all the other stuff of us playing in Bristol, which I lived in Tennessee for a while. I'm excited about that series. I won't end up going to it, I'm sure, but it's still exciting. First pitch on the way to Contreras up top for a strike. It's 0-1. I used to watch NASCAR, to be honest. I used to be a NASCAR fan. They lost me about a decade ago. It was a big fan as the 0-1 in the dirt 1-1. But a lot of the rules that they made a change in about a decade ago, I just, like, you know what, there's too much stuff going on to keep up with that too. But anyways, I am excited to see it because when Tennessee college team, Tennessee played Virginia Tech there several years ago, that place was rocking, and I can imagine it's going to be the same for Braves Reds. The 1-1 in the dirt, 2-1. I think they picked a great 2 teams to put there You want Braves Reds or Braves Cardinals, two teams that can make the trip. I think that's a great idea. Braves Reds 2025. The 2-1 swung on, popped up high and out of play. 2-2. The other big news. I hope y'all are sitting down, and I hope I'm going to go ahead and hit the. Here we go. Michael Harris begins his rehab assignment tonight in AAA. The 2-2 count. Pitch on the way. Swing. Hits it high and deep down the right field line. If it's fair, it's trouble. Off the wall. Soler slams into the wall. And Contreras keeps going and going and going. And the throw's into third. Good throw by Arcia, but it's going to be an RBI triple. Soler says that he's okay. Man, he clunked into that wall. He went up. Oh, I see what it was. He didn't. So there's a foam padding down that right field line, and he hit it. He wasn't going to make the catch anyways, but he hit it, and it cut him off, and it kind of clotheslined him right there with his knee. That's how the slow-footed Contreras ended up. Man, I'll tell you what, Riley came really close to getting him out. It's a good swim move by Contreras. Sinker on the way from Elder to the number 5 hitter. Adames is inside for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Righty. Pitch on the way. Swing. That ball's blasted. Deep into center field. Kelenic is going to watch it go out of the stadium, and it's 3-0. Milwaukee. A 2-run home run. Adames dead center over the 400 mark. Man, that thing went. He got all of that one. Willie Adames, 426 feet to dead center. He did not get cheated on that one. His 18th home run of the year. Elder back to work, trailing 3-0. The first pitch on the way, slider in the dirt. It's 0-1. Well, we knew the Braves were probably going to have to score some runs tonight to get this W, and they can get runs on Ray. They did it first time out. The 1-0. Swung on. That ball's laced into right field. It will. Soler on the run, making the catch just before the warning track to end the inning. So 3 get on the board. We'll grab the bats. It's our second time seeing this pitcher, too. We're just getting started here in Braves country.
Just a reminder that it costs $0 to be nice. How much? What is it to be an? I can Venmo you. That's not the point. It's free, isn't it? You're so stupid.
Do you know why I pulled you over? Because I was at the stop sign for too long. Why was you just sitting there? I was just waiting for it to turn green. Where you headed? I'm headed home. Okay, where you live? With my parents. Okay, and where do your parents live? They live with me. Okay, so where's your house? It's next to my neighbor's house. Step out the car, please. I'm going to jail.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by The Best Things in Life, which are still free with minimum purchase at participating dealers.
And what do we say when somebody says, hey, let's be friends? Ha! Okay, but just so you know, I'm freaking weird. I'm weird all day, every day, whether I like it or not. Okay, I wouldn't start with that.
The day after the Black Sox were acquitted, Judge Landis barred all 8 players for life. None of them ever played Major League Baseball again. Judge Landis and the club owners had done their best to reassure the public that the game's honesty had been restored, but fans remained skeptical. Something or someone else was needed to revive their shattered faith.
But I tell you what, here comes a guy with big, broad shoulders and skinny legs, and he could hit that ball out of the ballpark. See, a lot of people had stopped going to baseball, and here comes Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth started hitting that ball out the ballpark and then brought him back.
Thank you for listening, liking, and subscribing to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
Swung line drive left field. 1 run is in. Here comes Brave. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe. Braves win. Braves win.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves trail 3-0. You're just joining us. A 2-run home run followed a RBI triple. Jorge Soler will lead us off. First pitch on the way to Jorge is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Sinker misses. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. Down and away, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Ripped over there towards third, deep in the hole, off his back foot. The throw comes towards first. Ortiz will not make the play in time, and Jorge Soler with an infield single. Good hustle by Jorge. 5-3 on the play. That'll bring Austin Riley to the plate. Riley, first pitch on the way, kicks and fires. Inside cut for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Rhea comes set, brings it. Swing, chops it over to third. Ortiz, 5, 4, 3, double play. Austin Riley taking a hack at a pitch he probably should have stayed off. They checked the replay real quick, but they won't challenge that. It looks like Riley was out by about a half step. Swung at that sinker, and that's exactly what Ray was trying to get him to do. Man, that is close. Closer than a half step, but he does look like he's out. Marcell Ozuna comes to the plate. First pitch, down and away, it's 1-0. Righty-righty matchup. Marcell now batting exactly 300 on the year. Rhea brings it. Swing, pops it up. High in the sky. Easy, lazy fly ball into center field. Mitchell makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. That was a quick 1-2-3. That's not what you want. Not only did we not do anything, got out of there in just a few pitches. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
I might be poor. I might be dumb as but I got tattoos and I feel cute sometimes.
Why did you get so drunk?
You got drunk. I'm just really exhausted.
What's in that cup?
Rum and Cokes.
Do you have any idea how important this is? We're trying to save the pub cup. Really? This is what you're doing? This is what you're doing?
So, I tried to act normal today. Yep. It was the worst minute of my life!
Is it November?
Yeah.
And things are going well?
Yeah.
Introducing Daylight Savings.
What's that?
Daylight Savings Time was created to confuse you and make you more depressed than you already were.
Wow, it's dark out. It must be getting late. Wow, it's dark out. It must be 3:30.
When Daylight Savings ends, you can leave for work when it's dark out, sit inside all day, and get home from work when it's dark out.
Yeah, that sounds really bad.
Now you get it.
Summer was great. I'd hang out with my friends laughing in the sun until 9 p.m. And now some days I don't even see the sun, which is not good.
Try it today.
I don't have a choice.
Go ahead and paint me red and black and call me Jumper Cables, baby, because I'm finna start some today.
At the turn of the century, Major League veterans often refused even to speak to new players. Once, early in his career, a shy young outfielder dared compliment a New York Giant for hitting a home run. "Nice hit," he said. The veteran answered, "Go to hell." The young player was Honus Wagner, on his way to becoming the greatest player in the National League.
Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Braves trail 3-0. We're in the second inning. Hoping Bryce Elder can get things under control here. Elder will go back to work. First pitch on the way is up top for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Down below the knees. 1-1. The 1-1 count. Rhys Hoskins, the batter. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Rhys Hoskins on a 10-game hit streak. 10 for 36 in that hit streak with 4 home runs. Ex-Philadelphia Philly, I should say. The 1-2 pitch. Down and in. 2-2. Hawkins had that terrible leg injury last spring, missed the entire season. And that was the last year of his contract, the 2-2. Swung on, hit hard on the ground. Are you kidding me? It ricochets off the third base bag into left field, and it's going to be a leadoff double. Man, sometimes when you're hot, you're hot. He was going to be an easy 5-3 putout, but the ball smacks the bag and hops over Austin Riley's head. So that'll extend his streak to 11 games. It'll look like a line drive in the scorecard, but we all know that should have been an out. First pitch on the way to the left-hander. Sal Frelick is up high and out of the zone. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Elder, 27th pitch. Kicks and fires. Swung on, hit hard on the ground, right to second. Merrifield thought about going over to third base, but he flips it over to first. So it's a 4-3 putout. Rhys Hoskins moves from second down to third. I don't think he would have got it. It would have taken a perfect play. And it's a little different if you have a guy standing there waiting on the throw, but Riley was going to have to get in position from where he was originally standing before the pitch was thrown. So Ortiz will come to the plate. First pitch on the way to the right-handed. Number 9 hitter is inside. Sinker misses. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Brings it. Swing. Slices it back. Foul. 1-1. 1-1 count. First game of a 3-game set. Braves infield is in. The 1-1. Inside. Sinker misses. 2-1. Standing on deck is Terang. He's 1 for 1. Churio in the hole. The 2-1 pitch. Brings it up high. 85-mile-an-hour slider. Might have been a touch high, but he got the call. 2-2. He looked like he missed that zone. But I'm sure Elder will take anything he can get right now. The 2-2. Darno sets up inside. Pitch swung on. Chopped through the infield. Over the head of the infield, and it's 4-0. Runner at first, 1 out. The infield's back. Arcia would have been standing right there to make the play. So 2 bad luck hits here in the inning produce a run. They went with the sinker, wanting him to hit on the ground. That's what he did, but it was more of a Baltimore chopper through the infield. First pitch on the way to Terang. He drops a bunt down. Fouls it off the plate. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Comes set. Kicks and fires. Swing. Slices it back foul. 0-2. Braves trail by 4. Still just the second inning. Long way to go here, but you don't want this to unravel. The 0-2. Elder brings it. Swing. Pops it up. Foul and out of play. We'll do it again. Standing on deck is Churio. In the hole is Mitchell. You'd love a double play here, but it's going to be tough to double up this pair. Ortiz runs pretty well, and Terang, obviously the leadoff hitter, is really got some wheels. Elder flips it over to first. Runner back in time. The 0-2. Infield is back and to the right. There's a huge hole on the left side. The 0-2. In the dirt, almost gets him on the foot. 1-2. The 1-2 from Elder. Kicks and fires. Swing. Chops it over towards second. It's going to be Merrifield flipping it over to first. Just gets him in time. He thought about going to second, but that was going to be a really close play. And if he goes to second, Terang's going to be safe at first. So he took the easy play, 2 down. Smart play by Merrifield. Terang was busting it down the line. Righty-righty matchup now. Churio swings at the first pitch, chops it back foul. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Elder, his 39th pitch of the night. Swing, pops it up. High down the right field line, but foul. Out of play, 0-2. The 0-2. Mitchell on deck. Contreras in the hole. Time is called by home plate umpire. Home plate umpire tonight is Carlos Torres, in case you missed the intro. Brian Walsh is at first. Ryan Wills at second. And Chad Fairchild at third. The 0-2, down below the knees. 1-2. Sinker went down and in. Churio thought about swinging at it, but held up. We have not seen this crew much. Only one other time this year. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with the sinker on the inner cut under the hands, and that'll end the inning. Well, Olsen, RC, and Darnell will try to change our fortunes. We trail 4-0 here in Braves country.
What kind of names were these kids calling you at the pool?
Meathead, Fatso, Wide Butt, Wally the Whale.
Porky, Hog, Fat Ass, Double Wide, Butterball, those sorts of things, right?
Yeah.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing, Daryl, Daryl. It's a tough time for any kid, and especially now as he stands naked under the world out there in right field, and they taunt him and they chant his name.
He takes his cap off and reacts to it. It's just been a tough time.
I tell you, it's a tough business. And the chant continues, the taunt of Strawberry. High fly ball to Strawberry. Wind blowing it. One away. Boy, they're really on his case. Oh.
Armchair.
No one ever saw anything graceful or picturesque about Wagner on the diamond. His movements have been likened to the gambols of a caracoling elephant. He's so ungainly and so bow-legged that when he runs, his limbs seem to be moving in a circle after the fashion of a propeller. But he can run like the wind. New York American.
A Pennsylvania coal miner who had once hoped to become a barber, Wagner became a star in the Iron and Oil League, and in 1900 joined the Pittsburgh Pirates, where he played shortstop for 18 years. He hit better than 315 seasons in a row, stealing 722 bases, setting league records for at-bats and number of games played that stood for 4 decades.
Welcome back. Middle of the order due up for your Atlanta Braves. Matt Olson to be followed by Arcia Darno. Righty-lefty matchup. Olson batting .226. First pitch on the way, 94 at the knees. It's 0-1. Colin Ray only threw 7 pitches in that first inning. The Braves got some work to do. The 0-1, right down the pipe, cutter, 0-2. He can afford to be really aggressive now, so it's kind of a double-edged sword. He's probably going to be aggressive with that 4-run lead. The 0-2 to Olson. Swing, pops it back foul. Olson with a .719 OPS. 18 home runs on the year, 53 RBI. Rhea brings it. Caught looking. No, they called that a ball. Okay, we'll take it. It's usually the ones that they ring them up on. It was just off the edge, but I thought for sure the way the umpire stood back, I thought he was about to punch him out. The 1-2. Swing, that ball's lifted into left field. Going back. Making the miss in left field is Churio. He olayed that ball in left field. He was on a dead run. Olson's at second with the leadoff double. He was on a dead run. And just the ball kind of went right through him. Just past his glove. I thought he was going to come over there and make a play on that, but it got just by him. So we'll take that all day long. Leadoff double. Here comes Orlando Arcia batting .226 now. First pitch down below the knees. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Righty. Ray brings it. Cutter right about belt high. It's 1-1. Standing on deck, you've got Darno. In the hold, it's Rosario. You'd love to scratch across a run or two here. Start climbing back into this one. The 1-1. Nasty sweeper. That thing buckled almost like a wiffle ball. Looked like it was going to come in and get RC and bust him off the plate, and it grabbed the zone. He may see that pitch again. The 1-2. Swung on, chopped in front of the mound. Olson's going to make it down to third. The throws to first. They'll get Arcia by about a step or two, one away. So that's a good old-fashioned productive out. Not necessarily what he was trying to do, but we'll take it. Puts Olson at third with just one away. Now if Darno can get a fly ball, or the infield should be back for Milwaukee. With the 4-run lead, they'll concede that run. Darno just has to make sure not to pop up or strike out. First pitch, 94 up top, misses high. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Brings it. Outside wide ball 2-2, and a good take by Darno. Trying to get him to roll over on that sinker. The infield is back. It is shaded a little bit to the left, so there is a hole on the right side. The 2-0 to Darno. Swing! That ball's hit hard on the ground, and the one place you can't hit it is over to third base. He pulled that one. It's a 5-3 put out to away. He hits it anywhere else on the field, that's going to score the run. The shortstop's not coming home with that. We know second and first isn't going to come home with that. The one place. Good pitch by Rhea. I like how Olsen jumped on the bag and then faked like he was going to take off. Like Olsen's got the speed to pull that one off. Like Contreras would be standing at home plate eating a sandwich waiting on him to get to the plate. First pitch on the way to Eddie Rosario, swung on and fouled back. It's 0-1. So it's up to Eddie now to try to come through, or maybe a wild pitch or a balk, but no longer will the fly ball score Olsen. Righty-lefty matchup, the 0-1, outside wide, 1-1. The 1-1. Rhea brings it. Swing, pops it up. Back behind home plate. It's 1-2. So 1-2 count. Rhea's got that sinker that he goes to with 2 strikes. He also has that sweeper, cutter, a splitter, and a curve. So not a lot of straight pitches. The 1-2 pitch, down below the knees, 4-seam fastball. They were going to try to ring him up on the outside. That's where Contreras was set up, but that was way down and in. The 2-2, swing, fouls it back. Over the third base dugout, we'll do it again. The 2-2, bottom of the second, 2 out, swing and a miss, strike 3. Eddie Rosario went fishing on that one. We'll be back in a flash. Top of the third we go. The Braves trail 4-0.
Shout out to my lungs for handling all the things my mental health can't.
Well, it's summer, and if you're like me, you're having a blast with some outdoor cocktails and maybe beer. There's another drink I've been considering thinking about. That's right. At this point in time, I've decided to mix in a water. Now, a lot of you are probably thinking, how does that work? Great question. You've spent all summer drinking 8 straight seltzers and waking up the next morning feeling like you got hit by a school bus. But when you mix in a water, you give your body and soul a glimmer of hope that it'll overcome the beating you're putting it through. You see, we only get one physical human body on this earth, and I treat mine like a garbage can. So let's crack open a water and see if that fixes things. Is mixing in a water fun? No. It sucks. It feels extremely lame. A borderline party foul. I cannot think of a single thing I'd rather do less when I'm out having fun than mixing in a water. So what are you waiting for? Mix in a water and become a beacon of health today.
My ducks are absolutely not in a row. I don't even know where some of them are. And I'm pretty sure one of them's a pigeon. Or a pterodactyl.
And it turned out that old Honus was the best third baseman in the league. He was also the best first baseman, the best second baseman, the best shortstop, and the best outfielder. That was in fielding. And since he led the league in batting 8 times between 1900 and 1911, you know that he was the best hitter too, as well as the best base runner.
He had a powerful build. His 5'11", 200-pound frame, it was said, featured a massive chest that might have come from a barrel maker's shop, and shoulders broad enough to serve dinner on. His legs were badly bowed, but he had huge hands and arms so long, opposing players swore he could tie his shoes without bending over. Nothing seemed to get past him, and he threw so hard to first base that pebbles, scooped up as he fielded grounders, were said to arrive along with the ball.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. It's Outcast tonight at the Braves Stadium. They did this last year. We played terribly last year. I went and looked it up. We got our butts handed to us. So this happens again, man. I'm going to start saying we're going to have to start banning them from coming to the stadium. I know there's a lot of Outcast fans out there, but man, I remember this last year. First pitch on the way to Mitchell to lead off the game is a strike on the outer cut up top. It's 0-1. The 0-1 in the dirt, 1-1. Good to see Margaret coming in. The 1-1 righty-lefty matchup. Mitchell, who's 0 for 1. Pitch up top, misses high and out of the zone, 2-1. 2-1 count. Lets her go. Swing and a miss. Slider over the top. 3-1. Or 2-2, excuse me. Real quick on the out-of-town scoreboard. There's been some games that have been delayed or all-out canceled because of the threat of Debbie coming up the coast. The 2-2 misses up top. 3-2. Cleveland and Arizona are in a rain delay. That has nothing to do with Debbie, but they are in a rain delay. The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with the four-seam fastball up top. 1 away. Washington. I was surprised by this. Washington is not rained out, which they're a tad south from New York, but the Yankees game is rained out. Washington leads San Francisco 6-4. Pittsburgh is in a rain delay versus San Diego as the first pitch is a slider down below the knees to Contreras. It's 1-0. The 1-0 right there below the knees, 2-0. Houston and Texas is just about getting ready to start. They've got a roof there in Texas, so they don't have to worry about this. The 2-0 pitch. Right there at the knees for a strike, 2-1. That was a good slider. Probably the best one he's thrown all night. Boston and Kansas City are about to get underway, as well as Twins and Cubs. I know there's rain in the area for the Cubs game, too. The 2-1. Swung on, chopped foul, do it again. Later on tonight, you got Detroit at Seattle, and the White Sox are at the A's. Tampa Bay and St. Louis just got going. The Rays lead the Cardinals 2-0. The 2-2, down and in, full count. Cincinnati leads Miami 6-0. That's in the fourth. Yankees Angels postponed. They called that quickly. The 3-2 pitch misses inside, ball 4. So 1 out walk. Contreras will head down to first. That'll bring Willie Adames to the plate. Getting going here in a little while. Mets and Rockies, 8:40 tonight. And then Philadelphia and the Dodgers, that's a 10-10 game. First pitch on the way to Adames is inside. It's 1-0. Baltimore and Toronto, 0-0 in the fourth. The 1-0. Elder brings it. Swung on, lifted high and deep. And the way he took that stand, that ball's got to be gone. It is a 2-run shot by Willie Adames. And he must be seeing the ball well off the bat, off the hand, of Elder, because that's his second 2-run home run tonight. It's 6-0 Milwaukee. That was a hanging slider. He had to go out there and get that one, but he was able to get it, and one of the faithful in Braves country chucked the ball back into the outfield. He didn't want any part of it. First pitch on the way to Bowers, inside for a ball. It's 1-0. 1-0. Down and in, 2-0. The 2-0 count. Swing, chops it foul down the line, 2-1. Looking at the wild card standings coming into today, it's neck and neck. The 2-1 down below the knees. Bull 3-1. Elder just does not have it tonight. You know, we talked about this last time he pitched. It seems like he has a good outing, then he has a terrible outing. The 3-1 pitch swatted down the line, fouled, 3-2. And sure enough, when I brought it up last time, he had a bad outing, so he came and had a good outing. Well, here we go. It's a seesaw with this guy. But I don't think they did him any services. There's a 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Having a guy who's struggling to stay on in the major leagues, and he seems the same team who's 13 games above 500 twice in a 6-day span. That's usually a recipe for disaster. Advantage goes to the offense. First pitch on the way to Hoskins, down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. Looking at the standings, the Braves come in today, the 1-0, swing and a miss, 1-1. They're now just 5.5 behind Philly. Philly has just been absolutely cratering. It's what's kept Atlanta in the mix in the NL East. They're 5.5 back there. Philly plays in LA tonight. The 1-1, swing and a miss, 1-2. Hoskins will take his time out. But the more realistic right now to look at as we come into today, it's hard to believe we just have 51 games, counting this one, left in the season. The 1-2 in the dirt, 2-2. And I really do feel like the complacency that has gone on all year long with the coaching staff. I mean, you have 50. You literally have a third of the season left now. The 2-2 fouled off the plate. We'll do it again, 2-2. It's go time. There's no longer. We're down to a 50-game sprint, essentially. 2/3 of the season is over. The 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll end the inning, but not before Elder coughed up a couple more runs. We'll be back in a flash, see if we can make this a game. It's 6-0 Milwaukee. Braves grab the bats when we come back.
I don't know how many years on this earth I got left. I'm going to get real weird with it.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by The Best Things in Life, which are still free with minimum purchase at participating dealers.
Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball.
Let me tell you something. If the U.S. government decides to stick a tracking device up your ass, you say thank you and God bless America.
Bruh, my ex was like, "Are you already talking to someone else?" I was like, duh, there's a wait list.
February 1901. If we had waited for the National League to do something for us, we would have remained a minor league forever. The American League will be the principal organization of the country within a very short time. Mark my prediction. Ban Johnson.
Join us for Braves Country Baseball, first pitch to last pitch, right here.
To everyone who watches my life and gossips about it, don't give up. Season 2 is about to come out.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. So, back to the wild card standings. Arizona, San Diego, and Atlanta came in a flat-footed tie tonight. Technically, the Braves are in front by 1 percentage point as they are one loss ahead of San Diego and Arizona in the win-loss column, but nonetheless, they all came in tied. First pitch on the way to Merrifield, down below the knees for a ball, it's 1-0. The Mets are a game and a half out, the 1-0. Outside wide, 2-0. Pittsburgh 4 out, St. Louis 4, San Francisco 4.5. And after that, you're really stretching to think a team that's 6.5, 7, 10 games out is going to make a run with just 50 left. The 1-1 count is fouled off by Merrifield. Merrifield leading off here, batting 200, 580 OPS. Milwaukee is playing back pretty straight up, except for the first baseman is shaded over to the left side. The 1-2. Swing! Fouls it away. So I'd say you can really cut that off at about the St. Louis-Pittsburgh mark, the 4 out, the 1-2. Outside wide, good take by Merrifield, 2-2. So what we're really looking at over the next several weeks is scoreboard watching, not just with the Phillies for the division, but it's also Arizona, San Diego, Mets, Pittsburgh, and St. Louis. The 2-2. Caught, looking, strike 3. Sinker right there on the inner cut, 1 away. One down. See if this one screen's been having problems today. Let's see if it's gotten back to. Believe we're good to go. First pitch on the way to Jared Kelenic is right down the pipe for a strike. It's 0-1. You'll notice Kelenic is now batting 9th in the order. We talked about this last game. I thought that was well overdue. The 0-1 right there at the knees. Sweeper, 0-2. Colin Ray is a very good MLB pitcher. So it's not like they're getting shut down by a bum right now. The 0-2. Caught looking, strike 3. Kelnick never swung the bat. Wow. 2 away. He's done that too much recently, just sitting there watching that third strike. And I know there's times guys up there and they're looking for something and they just get frozen, but it's happening a lot with Kelnick. First pitch on the way to Soler is right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. It's almost at the point where when is he 0-1? Sweeper. Man, he is really pitching well. In the intercut, 0-2. His sweeper is dancing like a wiffle ball for those of y'all listening on radio. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We'll be back in a flash. Braves trail it, heading to the top of the 4th.
I just want to let you know that if I'm on your For You page, you probably smoke too much weed and you're a little bit mentally unstable.
10 things you may not know about Honus Wagner. Number 1. As a child, Johannes Peter was called Hans by his mother, which later evolved into Honus. Number 2. 3 of his brothers went on to become professional baseball players as well. His older brother, Albert Butts Wagner, is credited with getting him his first tryout. Number 3. In 1898, he won a distance contest in Louisville by throwing a baseball more than 403 feet. Number 4. When the American League began in 1901, the Chicago White Sox offered Wagner a $20,000 contract, but he turned it down, choosing instead to stay with the Pirates. Number 5. When he fielded grounders, his huge hands collected large scoops of infield dirt, which accompanied his throws to first like a tail of a comet. Number 6. In 1905, he signed a contract to produce the first bat with a player's signature, the Louisville Slugger, becoming the first sports person to endorse a commercial product. Number 7. In 1916, at the age of 42, he became the oldest player to hit an inside-the-park home run. Number 8. He starred as a sports hero in 1919 Spring Fever with Mo Howard and Shim Howard of the Three Stooges. Number 9. He was appointed as a deputy of the Allegheny County Sheriff's Office in 1942 after he ran for office of sheriff and lost.
lost.
And last but not least, number 10. A sporting goods store in downtown Pittsburgh was named after him and operated for 93 years before closing permanently in 2011.
Sometimes the grass looks greener because it's fake.
That's how you light a fire under their butts. You get them going with some inspiration.
Too much talking, 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 too much talking.
Hey, Torch. Hey, Lisa. You miss me? Not much.
It is played everywhere, in parks and playgrounds and prison yards, in back alleys and farmers' fields, by small boys and old men, raw amateurs and millionaire professionals. It is a leisurely game that demands blinding speed.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. We head to the top of the fourth, 6-0 your score. Elder will go back out there for another inning. At this point, they're going to try to not tear up the bullpen. First pitch on the way. Slider right there at the knees. It's 0-1. Not to mention the fact you got to kind of let him work some stuff out there because this isn't a game that's within reach right now. Is the 0-1. That ball's going to get dropped into center field at edge of the bat. Doinks it into center, and it's a leadoff single. He hasn't been pitching well, but he's gotten some really bad luck today. That is the third hit that was basically seeing eye. You had the one that smacked the third base bag that jumped over Riley's head. You had the other one that was the chopper, the Baltimore chopper, through the drawn-in infield, and then there's that one. Runner goes. Bad throw by Darnode, offline. It'll be a stolen base by Frelick. He really didn't get that great of a jump, to be honest with you. That throw was on the wrong side of the bag. No chance really for Merrifield to make that play. Good job by Arcia to back that play up and keep that from rolling into the outfield. The 1-0. Right there at the knees for a strike, 1-1. One count. Kicks and fires. Right there on the edge, 1-2. It is interesting that at one point, Philly and LA were kind of running away with the National League. That's not really the case anymore. The 1-2. Swung on, hit hard on the ground. Good scoop by Arcia. Fires it across the diamond. A 6-3 putout. Good play, Orlando. One away. 1 point, Philly and LA had a 10-game lead on the rest of the National League. Now they lead Milwaukee by just 4 games for the best record in the National League. And then, of course, we know that the Braves are hanging around there. It takes one hot streak and they could overtake Philly. They're 5.5 out. And Arizona and San Diego are both 5 out of LA. First pitch on the way to the leadoff hitter, Terang, with 1 out, is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 shows bunt, doesn't chase it, 1-1. I think we're going to end up with a really interesting September in the National League because and if the Braves don't start playing better, we could be on the outside looking in, but there's going to be some good teams not make the playoffs. The 1-1 pitch is swung on, rifled into right field. Here comes the throw from Soler. That nowhere near getting him, and on the play, because he went home with it, the runner's going to go from first to second. Milwaukee leads at 7-0. You know, one of the things when I'm looking at this every night on And I know Duvall hasn't been hitting well, and Laureano hasn't been tearing it up. But honestly, Soler should not be playing right field. That's not his spot. He's realistically a DH or a left fielder nowadays. First pitch on the way, right there at the nearest first strike. It's 0-1. So you hurt your defense by putting him over there and right, and the idea was to get more offense going with Eddie, but Eddie's not hitting. He's hitting below 180. The 0-1, chop foul down the line, 0-2. I understand all this if we're talking about an Eddie Rosario that's sitting in the mid-250s. He's now batting 176. I would have Soler in left, and I would have some combination out and right of, as the 0-2 pitches hit hard on the ground. Good play by Riley. That was almost another run. Elder's getting scalded. But anyways, back to my point. It's not worth giving up defense, which we've seen a few times since Soler's been playing right, that Duvall or Laureano, they're making that play. You put Soler out and left and call it a day. When he played in the field last year for Miami, he was in left. First pitch on the way is right there for a slider. It's 0-1. And they're going to tell you it's, well, if you're hitting, you're going to get in. We're trying to help the offense. But Eddie Rosario has just been terrible. He had that one weekend where he hit 2 home runs against the Nationals. That's it. The 0-1, high and out of the zone. 1-1. So if you're going to have kind of a hole in your lineup, so to speak, I'd rather the guy be able to play defense. The 1-1, 4-seam fastball misses high, 2-1. Elder about to throw his 83rd pitch in the 4th inning. That's another issue there, too. The 2-1 pitch, 91 misses high, ball 3-1. But Eddie Rosario is hitting 105 in the last 7 games he's played. He's batting 114 the last 15 and 158 in the last 30. The 3-1 pitch, right down the pipe, 3-2. In that span, he's hit 3 home runs. If it weren't for those 3 home runs, right now his OPS in the last 30 games is barely over 400, which is pitiful. The 3-2 pitch misses high and out of the zone, ball 4. So the point being, we're not scoring runs because Eddie Rosario's in the lineup and he's terrible defensively. So why not put Duvall or Contreras? At least we know they can play defense. We'll be back in a flash. They're going to make a pitching change. Uncle Jesse's going to see if he can change our luck. We'll be back here on Braves Country.
You call it nagging. I call it listen to what I've said the first time.
5-2 Dodgers in the 9th. Got him. They've done it. Like the 1969 Mets, it's the impossible dream revisited.
And Myers bringing it. And the pitch is hit in the air. Foul off first. Benzinger backing and calling. And the 1990 World Championship belongs to the Cincinnati Reds.
Bell, left field, way back. Blue Jays win it. The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run in the 9th inning, and the Blue Jays have repeated as World Series champions.
I be like, why these people staring at me? I be forgetting I'm fine.
When the National League dropped 4 of its less profitable teams, Johnson saw his chance. He established new clubs in Boston, Philadelphia, Baltimore, and Washington. Snapped up newly unemployed players, then began raiding active National League rosters. Lured by an average of $500 more per season, 111 National League players jumped to Ban Johnson's brand new American League, including the great pitchers Cy Young and Rube Waddell and the notorious John McGraw. The National League owners complained, threatened, mounted lawsuits, quarreled among themselves, but they could do nothing. Ban Johnson was not going to go away.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Jesse Chavez stands in. He'll face Contreras. Contreras swings at the first pitch, bangs it on the ground, 6-3 putout, and that'll end the inning. Brewers had one, but we'll see if we can start climbing back into it. See, nothing else, get some of these guys off the schneid. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
I don't feel like you've done enough today to even get a participation trophy.
Riggins. He's going to go all the way unless Blackwood can catch him, and he can't.
3rd and 3. We'll see a pickup sometime on the right side, possibly.
Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. Clark caught it. Dwight Clark.
Only 12 seconds left to play third quarter. Here's Marcus Allen cutting back upfield, and Marcus Allen could be gone. 74 yards for Marcus Allen.
The quiet man of this football team, Scott Norwood. He can fire the shot heard round the world now. Here we go with 8 seconds to play. High drama here in the Super Bowl. But in the air, it's got the distance.
You know how I feel. I will be proud to lead you wonderful guys into battle anytime, anywhere.
Being alone isn't that bad. It's a great opportunity to get to know yourself and be comfortable with who you are.
I already love myself. I just want to French someone.
In 1903, weakened by their own squabbling, the National League owners sued for peace. Van Johnson had won. A new national agreement was negotiated. Now there would be 2 major leagues, separate but equal, honoring one another's contracts, both retaining the reserve clause that kept players bound to their owners for life. A 3-man national commission was appointed to settle disputes and see that the regulations were enforced. Power was supposed to be shared equally, but Van Johnson saw to it that he was really in charge. The players were not represented.
Welcome back. Braves trail by a touchdown. Austin Riley will lead us off. Riley 0 for 1. He banged into a double play. Really close double play to start the game. Thought maybe we had something going there. Soler had hit an infield single, and then Riley banged a sinker down into the dirt. They turned quickly and just got Riley. First pitch on the way is a cutter up top for a strike. It's 0-1. Bottom of the 4th. The 0-1 swing. That ball's laced into left field. That's down for a base hit. Maybe that'll wake the bats up. Third hit of the game for the Atlanta Braves. Marcell Ozuna comes to the plate. First pitch of the Big Zoo. Down below the knees. For a strike, for a ball, it's 1-0. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. 93 up top, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. You're just sitting in. You got the Braves bally pulled up. Riley is on first, though they have not indicated it on your screen. 1 on, nobody out. The 1-1. Swing. Slices it foul deep down the right field line. 1-2. Same 2 teams will be at it tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's Chris Sale. Chris Sale originally was going to pitch this game, and they bumped him back when they decided to bring up Elder to give Sale another day of rest. The 1-2. Caught looking, strike 3. Ozuna doesn't like it, but with 2 strikes, you've got to swing the bat. And Ozuna's saying something to home plate umpire Torres. You better watch it. He's about to get launched. Torres just took off his mask. I mean, that ball hit the zone. And maybe he was complaining about something earlier. Matt Olson stands in. First pitch is swatted into the Braves dugout. Matt Olson, 1 for 1 on the day. The 0-1. Ray's going to turn around and flip it over to first. Riley back under the tag. So an 0-1 count. Outside misses wide, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch is down and away. Sweeper misses. Ball 2-1. They said that Grayson Rodriguez, by the way, the Cleveland-Arizona game has officially been postponed now. I wish we could have got in on that rain out. The 2-1 pitch swung on. That ball's hit on the ground. It's going to be a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. So the Braves will go back to the field and see if we can put a stop to this bleeding. Milwaukee has scored in every inning tonight. We'll be back in a flash.
Who is Duffy?
Duffy is my muse, and he also runs the cult that I'm in.
Dad, how'd I do in my baseball game? You did okay. Just okay? Well, you seem a little scared of the ball. Yes, I am, huh? I'm very scared of the ball. Yeah, I see that. At one point, I actually tried to hide the ball. Yeah, but they caught you. Yeah, they were like, you gotta throw that back to us. So I had to give it to them. Yeah, I saw that. I'm just so scared it's gonna hit me. You can't be scared of the ball. Is that why you don't swing the bat? Wait, what? Is that why you don't swing the bat? I'm supposed to swing the bat? Yeah, why do you think they're throwing the ball? I didn't know why. What do you mean? I thought he just didn't like me. No, you're supposed to swing at the ball. Okay, well, next time I'll swing. I got on base, though. Yeah, by a walk, I guess. No, I ran as fast as I could. No, I'm saying you were walked by. No, Eddie's mom has it on video. I ran to the base. You can even. You got 4 balls. Right, that's when I got walked. I remember about that. And later you had a chance to steal second. Why didn't you? Steal second base? Yeah, why didn't you steal second? Like just take it so they can't stand on it? No, I'm saying steal second base. Like you can't just take the base because then they'll have to say the game's over. Never mind. You had a great game. Really? Because everyone's saying I'm the reason we lost. Oh, because when the guy hit the ball and I grabbed the ball and I put it in my pants. Yeah, why did you do that? 3 guys scored. I was trying to do a trick I saw on America's Got Talent. I was going to make the ball. You know, maybe you shouldn't play baseball. Yeah, I might quit. Really? Do you think your coach would get mad? No, not at all. No, you don't think? No, he actually suggested it.
You play to win the game.
The idea of going to the ballpark, say in 1900, was that the urban masses would get a taste of country pastoral air, that they would breathe in, that their lungs would expand by cheering. Baseball grew in the cities. It is an outgrowth of gambling, it's an outgrowth of crookedness, it's an outgrowth of drinking, it's a roistering, boisterous event. It is as wild as the Wild West.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. If you're just joining us, Michael Harris is going to begin his rehab assignment tonight. Now, he's not going to be eligible to come back until, I believe it's the 14th. So that would be, I believe it's actually the day after. So that would be next Wednesday, next Thursday. First pitch on the way from Chavez. The sinker right there for a strike. It's 0-1. And the reason why they're starting it, first of all, nowadays, minor league baseball is the 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Minor league baseball nowadays, they play Tuesday through Sunday. They no longer do the traditional 3-game series like they do in the majors. The 0-2. Outside wide, 1-2. So I would guess what they're going to do is they're going to play him 3, maybe 4 games, and one of those will probably be a DH. Maybe even 2. The 1-2. Outside wide, 2-2. I would think, they haven't laid it out, but I would think they would start him with the day off after the first game. The 2-2, up top, caught looking, strike 3. What that would mean is that Michael Harris would get somewhere around 15 at-bats by the time he took the field. On the 14th is when he's first eligible to come back on Wednesday. Chavez fires the first pitch, cutter outside wide to Bowers. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Right there at the knees, 1-1. Now, if you look at the Braves' schedule, by the way, because this is one of the things I was going to bring up, I think they would have I think I saw Yelton asking why did they take Elder out, and I agree, but the problem was his pitch count was extremely high through 4 innings. It was a 1-1, banged off the plate, 1-2. He was up in the, let me double check the number. No, it was in the 80s. Yeah, 85 pitches in 4 innings. That's an incredible amount of pitches. His final line, by the way, 3 2/3, 8 hits, 7 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 2 home runs given up. I mean, all you can do is laugh at it because it hurts so bad. It raises his ERA to 6.52. The 2-2, outside wide. So you know you're going to see Elder go back down to the minors for sure now. There's no way they're going to keep him up for another start. They'll send him down, grab a bullpen guy, and then possibly send that guy down when we're ready for another start. The payoff pitch, inside, ball 4. So a 1-out walk for Jesse, from Jesse to Bowers. That'll bring Hoskins to the plate. A.J. Smith-Shawver has been pitching, Jillian. He's been pitching mostly as the first pitch on the way. It's right there for a strike. It's 0-1. They've been having him do starts and openings, but they've been very short outings so far. The 0-1. Right there at the knees, 1-1. The idea is to ramp him up and maybe get him ready. Waldrop is starting to go through his rehab process as well. The 0-2. Swing, pops it up. It's going to go over towards the first base dugout, but into the stands. Even as bad as this feels tonight, y'all, remember, we're still going to be 8 games above 500. We're going to be right there in the wild card mix. And the Braves have a pretty, after this Milwaukee series, the 0-2, down and away, 1-2. They then go on a 10-game road trip. No days off during that. So we don't get another day off until Monday, August 19th. The 1-2, foul back out of play. We'll do it again. We're going to go on the road for a 10-game road trip out west, and normally that is brutal. But the only good thing that comes out of it, we do play the Rockies and the Angels. We book in that in the middle. It's a 4-game set in San Francisco, which will be tough. The 1-2 swung on. That ball is caught. Leaping catch by Orlando Arcia. 2 away. Good defensive play by Orlando. Rifled that ball. Orlando, at the top of his jump, stopped it from going into left field. When they come back from that long road trip. They'll be at home against Philly and Washington. First pitch on the way to South Frelick is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Frelick's 1 for 2. The 1-0. Kicks and fires up top. 1-1. The 2-0 count. Frelick batting .268, 2 home runs. 90 up top. Grabs it for a strike. Frelick singled in the 4th, stole a base. The 2-1 pitch, swing, and that ball's laced into right field. Coming over, making the catch is Soler, and that'll end the inning. Well, it can be done. They didn't score. We'll be back in a flash, grabbing the bats, bottom of the 5th.
Hey, I know y'all heard of fear of missing out, but I think I have the exact opposite. I call it fear of being included.
Oh, I could never take that long to do my makeup. I just do my makeup in 10 minutes and I go. I know, Karen. I know. I can tell.
So, Dad, you've been married for a while. What are the secrets?
You need to learn to read the signs.
The signs?
Yeah. Women have 5 deadly terms they use.
Deadly terms.
Number 1, fine. It's not fine. She's basically just ending the argument. She thinks she's won, and you might as well move on from that.
Okay.
Number 2, nothing. That definitely means something. No one knows what it is, but just be afraid.
All right.
Number 3, go ahead. Yeah, don't do that. She's not giving you permission. She's basically daring you to do it. Don't do it. Number 4, whatever. That's basically a woman's way of saying screw you. Number 5, that's okay. Yeah, it's not okay, and if you do it, you're going to pay later. So,
okay.
You know what I mean?
I'll keep those in mind then. So.
Hey, wait a minute. A bonus word. Wow. That's not a compliment like I first thought. That's actually her way of saying she didn't realize that someone could be so stupid.
Just outside the old Huntington Avenue ballpark, home of the Boston Pilgrims of the New American League, stood the Third Base Saloon, so called because it was the fans' last stop on the way home. Its owner was the bartender, Mike Magee, known as Nuff Said, because he was the final arbiter of all barroom disputes. His customers, Irish immigrants mostly, called themselves the Royal Rooters and considered themselves the most loyal of all Boston fans, though their loyalty was actually comparatively new. They had been National League fans until the National Leaguers raised ticket prices 2 years earlier.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves head to the plate with Arcia, Darnode, and Rosario due up. Looking around the scoreboard, out-of-town scoreboard, St. Louis 4-2 over Tampa Bay in the 3rd. Houston and Texas are tied in the 3rd at 0-0. First pitch on the way to Orlando is up top for a ball. It's 1-0. Cubs lead the Twins 3-0 there in the 3rd inning. Red Sox 2-1 over Kansas City in KC. The 1-0 right there at the knees, 1-1. Mets and Colorado are just getting started, 0-0. The 1-1 swing, chops it foul. The 1-2. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss, strike 3, 4-seam fastball. Blew it right by him up top, one away. Travis Darnode will come to the plate. First pitch to Travis is 94. Missed the zone, but they called it for a wide strike. That's a 7-0 in the 5th inning. Strike, it's 0-1. The 0-1. Outside wide, 1-1. Home plate umpire Carlos Torres. He looks like this is the first time he's ever been behind home plate. He sticks his hand out behind the catchers, the 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 1-2. Like he's trying to keep his balance, like he doesn't know where the catcher is. That's something you see in Little League. Well, 1-2 count. Pitch on the way to d'Arnaud, swung on, hit hard on the ground, but right at the first baseman. Bowers flips it to Rhea. He'll step on the bag, 2 away. Two away. First pitch on the way to Rosario is up top. Curveball for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. Right through it. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Pitch way outside wide, 4-seam fastball, 1-2. Righty, lefty, Ray, just his 59th pitch of the night. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We'll be back in a flash. Top of the 6th we go, trailing by 7.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, what's going on?
I'm really down.
Why is that? About the doctor's diagnosis?
Yeah, 6 months left. I mean, that's just not much.
Yeah, I know. Hey, I know. Get married.
Why? I mean, does that make me live longer?
No, but it'll make it seem like forever.
I think we really need to be in front of a television set. You take TV out of this relationship, it's just torture.
Man, the way that so many of y'all get on this app every single day and clock in, punching your time card like it is your duty to comment on every single video that you come across, just looking for an argument, just begging everybody, please argue with me. You just need somebody to talk to, huh? I mean, is that it? What's going on at home, babe? I'm not offering. Don't call me. Circling back to the therapy option, let's start there. You need help. This behavior isn't normal. Let's take a break from the tic-tac videos and unpack those mommy issues.
They're talking good about you. You want to read that Twitter machine, man. Everybody's getting on that Twitter machine. You want to read it. My Twitter machine is turned off.
On October 1st, 1903, Nuff Said and his Royal Rooters were among the first to pass through the turnstiles to see the Boston Pilgrims take on the Pittsburgh Pirates in the very first championship series between the two leagues. It would be a best-of-9 game contest. Realizing that this was a golden opportunity to prove the superiority of his new league, Van Johnson ordered the Boston owner to beat Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh had been favored to win, but Boston was aided by a series of disasters that undercut the Pirates. One pitcher had been injured. Their star shortstop, Honus Wagner, was playing hurt. And just as the series got underway, Ed Doheny, another pitcher, suffered a mental breakdown and was sent to an asylum.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. John asks, is Eddie the worst player in baseball that is still playing regularly? He's at least on the Mount Rushmore, John. I'll tell you that. I don't know if he's the worst. White Sox and Rockies have a lot of really bad players, but he's up there. First pitch on the way from Jesse Chavez is right there for a strike to Ortiz. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Right there on the outer edge, 0-2. Maybe when we go out to see the Angels, we can convince Snicker that Los Angeles is just a better place to live and go grab Ron Washington and bring him back. The 0-2 outside wide, 1-2. 1-2 count tomorrow. Thankfully, it's Chris Sale Day. The pitch, swing, that ball's hammered down the right field line. Just foul. The way the series stacks up, it is Sale versus Peralta. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, that ball is hammered into right field. That's going to get through for a base hit. 1 on, nobody out. It's Sale versus Peralta tomorrow, and then Thursday, which is the afternoon game. Remember, that's a 12:20 first pitch. We haven't had many of those this year, but that is the early pitch. Charlie Morton versus Frankie Montas. We handled Frankie Montas pretty well when he was with the Reds. He was traded at the deadline from the Reds to the Brewers. So we, in theory, had the pitching advantage of the next two series. As far as the way it lays out right now in the first part of that road trip is the first pitch on the way, or the 1-0 pitch on the way, I should say, to Terang from Chavez is outside wide, 2-0. The plan right now is for Colorado. I don't know if I love this idea. The 2-0 swung on down the left field line, and Rosario come in, make the catch, 1 away. So they pushed everybody back, including Schwellenbach, who is now going to pitch the first game in Colorado. I would much rather have Schwellenbach pitching Thursday and have Charlie Morton go pitch in Colorado. Charlie Morton knows what to expect in Colorado. His curveball plays much better there. You put a rookie in Colorado, that ball could go flying out of there. You're really messing with his confidence. First pitch from Chavez to Churio is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Righty-righty matchup. The 0-1 swung on, fouled straight back, 0-2. After that, the game plan is for Max Fried to pitch Saturday. They have no one listed for Sunday. In theory, it would be as the 0-2 swung on, that ball's lifted into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. They got runners at first and second, 1 out here in the top of the 6th. But as of right now, you would have tonight's starter pitch Sunday. Well, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think they're going to hold on to Elder. I think they'll probably send him back down, have someone else come up, do a spot start, and by the time that spot comes up again, is the first pitch on the way from Chavez to Mitchell is outside wide. It's 1-0. Jesse Chavez is not hitting his spots. He's falling behind in all these batters. It's really, but he's out there to eat innings at this point. The 1-0 down below the knees, 2-0. So the idea would be you get through one more on Sunday, whoever you decide to pitch that, and by the time his spot comes around again, Lopez would be eligible to come off the IL on the 16th against the Angels. The 2-0 chopped over towards first. Olsen has it, fires it over to second. It's going to be a 3-6 put out. Mitchell will be safe at first. Fielder's choice if you're scoring at home. Runner from second moves down to third. We've got runners on the corners for Milwaukee, 2 away. Ian Anderson. Okay. Yeah, I did some research here on Ian Anderson. So he has pitched pretty well. But he did have a shaky start his last time out. But Ian Anderson has not pitched past the 4th inning, through the 4th inning yet. So they're gradually building him up. Remember, it was Tommy John surgery, and they usually take baby steps with that. The 1-0 fouls it back into the crowd, 1-1. See if I can find that stat Saw it pop up the other day about Ian Anderson. The 1-1. Kicks and fires down and away. Runners at the corners, a 2-1 count. So Ian Anderson, his last start out, got into the 5th inning, allowed 2 runs. He struck out 4, but he also walked 3. He only threw 84 pitches. So he's starting to, I think you'll see Ian Anderson maybe as early as the end of the month. The 2-2. Outside wide, 3-2. But for him, let's say if he was even ready to come in and eat some eggs, I don't think you bring the guy off of Tommy John surgery to go pitch in Colorado his first time out. That's not ideal. The payoff pitch, swing. That ball sliced down the right field line over the head of Soler. It's going to be off the wall. 1 run will score. 8-0 your score. 2 runs will score. 9-0 Milwaukee. Bases clearing double for the guy they never should have traded, William Contreras. If you can go back in the past, don't take the Braves on the money line. First pitch on the way to Willie Adames. Swung on and fouled back out of play. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Lets her go. Swing. Fouls it out of play. 0-2. You'd think they're probably going to have some version of probably Bummer come in the next inning. Jesse Chavez is at 44 pitches. Can't imagine he'll be asked to go out there for another inning. Once again, this is a perfect spot. Why David Fletcher hasn't been brought up, I'll never understand that. The 0-2 pitch, down and away, 1-2. David Fletcher continues to pitch on the minor league level. Pitches well, knuckleball, but he could also be your bat off the bench. He could be your infielder, your emergency infielder, a pinch runner, and he would be an extra bullpen guy. The 1-2 lets her grip outside wide, 2-2. The 2-2 swing, fouls it back. Milwaukee 9, Braves nothing, top of the 6th. Chavez creeping up near 50. This will be his 48th pitch. Lets her rip, swung on. That ball's laced over to second. Merrifield's got it. It's going to be a late throw. Slow developing play. The ball got hit on the end of the bat, so it kind of corkscrewed, and Merrifield probably should have hustled that. I don't think he realized how long. I mean, that's kind of a lackadaisical throw, honestly, by Merrifield. He's played pretty good baseball so far. They're looking to see if they want to challenge it. I don't see the point of challenging that. He definitely beat the throw. Snicker's going to come out. We're going to make a pitching change. Well, honestly, you can put that one on Merrifield. I've been a big proponent of him, but that was a bad play. We'll be back in a flash.
I'm Power Ranger.
Yeah, you are.
Armchair.
Presents the world's first star in your own radio commercial. Okay, guys, whenever you hear this sound, insert your name.
Hi there.
Braves country.
Sorry I'm late.
Sometimes there just aren't enough hours in the day to be a neurosurgeon and a swimwear model. Oh, am I thirsty? How about it?
Braves country.
Got anything tall and cool? Oh, those.
Braves country.
You are so thoughtful. But of course,
Braves country.
the first choice for every occasion. You know, I have a confession to make. If I ever had a son, I'd want to name him
Braves country.
Oh.
Braves country.
Come here. Now.
Braves country. Braves country. Braves country.
Well, you did very well in your first commercial.
Braves country.
Have a
Braves country.
You've earned it.
Armchair.
Do you ever miss the six-pack when you blow up between fights?
I'd rather be fat and happy than ripped. And like these people who are ripped all year round aren't happy. I'm not arsed. I don't care what they say. This six-pack's sound. I look great, but I'd rather be fat and happy, lad.
I think those Boston fans actually won that series for the Pilgrims. We beat them 3 out of the first 4 games, and then they'd start singing that damn Tessie song. You could hardly play ball. They were singing Tessie so damn loud. Like when Honus Wagner came to bat, they'd sing, Honus, why do you hit so badly?
The Boston Americans made it 5 victories out of 8 games played, which gives them a clear title to the highest honor ever achieved in baseball, Boston Globe.
The games proved so popular that the two leagues decided to hold a championship series every year. A team from Boston had beaten a team from Pittsburgh just 650 miles away, but the owners insisted on calling it the World Series.
Welcome back. This is the old official, we'll talk about other things tonight. We go from Elder to Chavez to Bummer. All right, let's go. First pitch on the way. Sweeper down and in. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Comes set, kicks and fires. 93 inside. 2-0. It's a 2-0 count. It's one of the hardest things to do as a reliever, to come into a game that is 9-0, the 2-0. Inside just misses, 3-0. I mean, that's where home plate umpire Carlos Torres got to give him a strike there, man. Come on. You're squeezing the zone in a 9-run game in the 6th. 3-0 pitch, down below the knees, ball 4. Starting to think that Torres, during that break, went out to Vegas and took the over on whatever the number is now. Because that was a pinch. I mean, you never see, when it's 9-0, you never see a pitch that close not called a strike. First pitch from Bummer to Rhys Hoskins, who's 1 for 3. It's right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. Hoskins hit a double in the second, and it was a good luck double. The ball hit the third base bag and hopped over the head of Riley. The 0-1 down and in, 1-1. A 1-1 count. Brian says, are there 4th and 5th string? Now, this isn't college football. This is Major League Baseball. You don't have 4th and 5th string. The 1-1 down and away, 2-1. You don't get the gimme wins. What would you say? Most college football teams play like 3-4 real games a year. The rest of them are lollipops. The 2-1 pitch. Inside, called for a strike, 2-2. Goat came out of hiding. It's all your fault, Goat. Where you been? A 2-2 count. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Swing, fouls it away. The 2-2. Bummer comes set. Kicks and fires. Swing, fouls it back. We'll do it again. You know, if you look over in the American League, it is a much different story in that wild card. Boston is a game and a half behind Kansas City. They're playing the Royals tonight. They're a game and a half behind Kansas City for that last spot. The 2-2. Swatted back foul. We'll do it again. Minnesota's a game and a half in front of Kansas City for the number 2 spot. And then the Yankees are 4.5 of them. That's where the Braves were a few weeks ago, and they just kept losing, and all the other teams kept winning, and now we're all jammed up. But you get past Boston, it's a huge drop-off. The 2-2. Swung on, chopped over towards short. RC has got it, flips it over to first. That'll mercifully end the inning. Milwaukee scores 2. We head to the bottom of the 6th. It's 9-0. Braves coming to the plate.
Mom.
What?
What's the difference between an enzyme and a hormone?
An enzyme? I don't know.
You can't hear an enzyme.
What do you mean you can't hear an enzyme? So you can't hear an enzyme, but you can hear a hormone? Oh my God, you're such an idiot.
Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
This one time, a boyfriend cheated on me, and I broke up with him on our way home. And while we were driving, he got so mad at me that he took my glasses off my face and threw them out the window. Was just like, all right, if you don't want to see me, then you don't need to see anyone. Good luck finding someone better, and also your way home. You, John.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by The Best Things in Life, which are still free with minimum purchase at participating dealers.
The Cubs' pitching mainstay was an Indiana farm boy, Mordecai Peter Centennial Brown, better known as Three Finger Brown, because of a boyhood accident with a feed cutter that destroyed most of his right index finger, paralyzed his little finger, and gave him a devastating curveball. Brown won 20 or more games, 6 years in a row.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Braves trail 9-0. I mean, can we not get shut out again? This is getting ridiculous. Whit Merrifield leads us off. Ray back out there to pitch. First pitch on the way is swung on and fouled back out of play. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires way outside wide 1-1. They're trading jokes after that joke off of that last commercial. If you're listening on radio in the YouTube chat, and I see that is the 1-1 pitch. Swing! That ball is belted high, but not quite deep enough. It'll bend into the stands. Rainbow shot 1-2. And Charlie says, I saw a funny joke. I'll share it tomorrow. Yeah, we wouldn't want to interrupt this great ball game that we're watching. Let's save all the good stuff for Chris Sale. 1-2 count to Merrifield. Oh for 1 on the day. Righty-righty matchup to pitch. Good take, curveball in the dirt, 2-2. The 2-2. Comes set. Swing. Fists it. Pops it up. Can of corn over to the pitcher. He'll make the catch. 1 away. Kind of a bloop pop. It's very rare that the pitcher makes the catch on an infield pop-up. Normally he gets shooed away by one of the defenders coming in, but That was a very short pop-up. If he doesn't make the catch, he's going to be safe at first. The first pitch on the way to Kelenic is through the hole, and that is on for a base hit. Hey. So Kelenic gets a base hit. Maybe that'll get him going. We got to get this offense going. You'd like to see him score a few runs tonight and have that bleed over into tomorrow. Couple of really bad days Sunday and today. Atlanta Braves, first pitch on the way to Jorge Soler. He was swinging for the fences. Swing and a miss, strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Lets her go. Sweeper down and away, 1-1. 1-1 count. So it does seem like every year you get one come from behind victory. Wouldn't it be nice if that was tonight? The 1-1. Swing. That ball is hit high. Deep, but not deep enough. It's going to be just before the warning track, making a loud out number 2. 2 away. Two down. Austin Riley comes to the plate. First pitch to Riley is up top for a strike. It's 0-1. The Braves have not scored in 20 innings. The 0-1. Swung on. That ball's lifted high and deep into right field. Coming over, making the catch at the warning track for a loud out number 3. So 2 hard hit balls, but just didn't quite have enough. We'll head to the 7th inning, scoreless in Atlanta.
How much is the rent for this beautiful apartment?
Ma'am, you're in a liquor store.
Quick story about Marcus Mariota. You know, people ask me about him all the time, and he's such a great player, but his best attribute is how quick-witted he is. People don't know this, but his freshman year, he worked at a grocery store in town to kind of pay the extra bills. And he was at the register one day, and this great big woman comes in, and she said, "I'd like to buy a half a head of lettuce." And he kind of looked at her funny, said, "We don't sell half heads, only whole heads." And she got all mad. So he walked into the back to ask the manager what he should do, and he said, "Hey, I got this great big fat woman out here that wants to buy a half a head of lettuce. What should I do?" And he didn't know it, but the woman had followed him back there. So he looks over his shoulder, and he sees her standing there, and he said, "And this lady wants to buy the other half." So the manager told him afterwards, the manager said, that was impressive. I can't believe you could think that quickly on your feet. And he goes, "That was nothing. I'm used to dealing with stuff like that." He goes, "I'm from Honolulu. There's 2 things we have in Honolulu. It's great football and fat women." And the manager said, "My wife's from Honolulu." And he said, "Well, what position does she play?"
Armchair.
In the 1906 World Series, the Cubs were heavily favored to beat their crosstown rivals, the Chicago White Sox, called the Hitless Wonders because the team averaged just .230 and hit only 7 home runs all season. But no one had counted on the superb pitching of White Sox ace Ed Walsh, master of the spitball.
Big Ed Walsh? Oh, brother. You talk about spitballs. I think that the ball disintegrated and got back together when the catcher got hold of it. I think when it went past the plate, it was just spit going by.
Ed Walsh totally overpowered the Cubs. He pitched a masterful 2-hit shutout to win the 3rd game and then went on to win the 5th. The Hitless Wonders had won the World Series.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Mets and Rockies are underway in Colorado. New York leads it 2-1 in the 3rd. Maybe if we can't win, everybody else can lose. Top of the 7th we go. Bummer goes back to work. First pitch on the way to Frelick, the number 8 hitter. The sinker inside up high. They call it a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Down and in. 1-1. 1-1 count. Pitch on the way. Swing. That ball's lifted high into right field. Coming in, making the sliding catches. Soler. Kind of a bumpy slide. Hope he's okay. 1 away. Second time tonight, he has slammed into something. You know, they talked about not playing him a whole ton. I remember in previous games he'd been pinch hit for. That's the second one he slammed in. Maybe it's time to take Jorge Soler out of the game, trailing 9-0 in the 7th. First pitch on the way is a sweeper outside wide. It's 0-1. The 0-1 in the dirt. 1-1. Bummer comes set, kicks and fires. Just grabs the outer black. 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Sweeper on the inner cut, 2 away. Two down, top of the 7th. First pitch on the way to Terang. Lefty-lefty matchup is outside wide. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Inside. 1-1. Very generous strike. The 1-1 pitch. Down and away. 2-1. The 2-1 pitch swung on, chopped over towards short. RC has got it, fires it over to first. That'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. Time to stretch your legs. Braves country. Braves trail 9-0.
All right, I can't see you. Let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. Me out to the ball game. Me out to the top. Find me something up and crack the jack.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves, I did the numbers at the Braves. So we have now not scored in 21 innings. And in that span of those 21 innings, the Atlanta Braves, as Marcell Ozuna leads us off, Ray will go back out there. His 71st pitch, that's another thing. We're not even making him work. First pitch on the way. 84 at the knees. It's 1-0. In those 21 innings, we have been outscored 19-0. The 0-1 to Ozuna. Kicks and fires. Outside wide, 0-2. That was a definite give me strike. That pitch was off the plate. Remember, Ozuna's already had some words, so he may just decide to get tossed. The 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 away. One down. Bottom of the 7th. Matt Olson comes to the plate. Olson, first pitch. Swing, that ball's hammered down the right field line, but foul. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Pitch on the way. Swing, that ball's hammered down the right field line. That is down for a base hit. That's going to get down where the green grass grows. Matt Olson will cruise into second base with 1 out double here in the bottom of the 7th. So that'll bring Arcia to the plate. Runner at second, 1 out. The first pitch, inside, 1-0. The 1-0, outside wide, ball 2, 2-0. Olson at second, 1 out. Rhea lets her go. Sinker up top, 2-1. The 2-1 to Arcia, swung on, chopped foul into the Brewers dugout on the third base side, 2-2. The 2-2. Comes set. Swing. Slices it down the right field line. Do it again. It's 2-2. Standing on deck is Rosario. The 2-2, outside wide, ball 3, 3-2. So full count to Arcia. The payoff pitch, swung on, pops it up high in the sky. That'll get into the seats well past the third base dugout. Say about 15, 20 rows in. Full count. The payoff pitch. They're going to call time out there and go have a chat real quick with Rhea. Well, they do that, we'll hit the out-of-town scoreboard. Remember, tomorrow night, pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. 7:20 first pitch, Chris Sale Day versus Peralta. Braves were able to hit a few off of Peralta last time. Hopefully we can have more luck as that. Blue Jays lead the Orioles 5-2 in the 8th. The payoff pitch, outside wide, ball 4. So Arceo head on down to first. It doesn't sound like much, but if you get something going here in the game, teams do pay off, bounce off of that. You get a few runs scored here and there tonight, even if you can't make the comeback, you can get the bats going. You hate to have back-to-back shutouts. First pitch to d'Arnaud, swing and a miss. Sinker blew it right by him. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Lets her go. Swing and a miss. Over the top of the cutter, 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Kicks and fires. Up top. Really close pitch. 1-2. Cardinals lead the Rays 4-2. They're in the 6th. Nationals 9-5 over the Giants in the going to the 8th. The 1-2 pitch. Outside wide. 2-2. Oh, he called that a strike? What a bum. Home plate umpire Carlos Torres. In fact, he didn't say anything, but d'Arnaud did show him up because he lifted the bat and stretched it over his head. That pitch was 2 to 3 inches easily off the plate, and you never see a batter do that, but he just basically showed him up by stretching the bat over his head, letting him know that was a bogus pitch. First one in the dirt to Eddie Rosario. Misses for a ball. It's 1-0. Torres hasn't had the greatest night. I'm telling you right now, because it's a pretty clever way of basically slapping Torres in the face. The 1-0. Swing, fouls it away. 1-1. You rarely see catchers argue pitches because they want their pitchers to get those hits. I mean, to get those calls. But in a 9-0 game, once again, a perfect time for Snicker to get thrown out. I mean, he's just lifeless on that bench. The 1-1, outside wide, 2-1. Red Sox lead the Royals 3-1 there in the 5th inning. Later on tonight, you got the Dodgers and Kershaw taking on the Phillies. The 2-1 pitch has popped up foul out of play over the third base dugout towards the upper deck. It's 2-2. Christopher Sanchez versus Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw is a 5.87 ERA this year. He just came off the IL. The 2-2. Swing, pops it up. Lazy fly ball. Easy catch by the center fielder, Mitchell, and that'll end the inning. Well, Braves put a couple on, but Eddie Rosario auto out Eddie ends the inning. We'll be back in a flash to the 8th we go.
Why is it so hard to solve a murder in West Virginia? There's no dental records and all the DNA's the same.
Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business.
about Don Mattingly, an emerging star? Mattingly last year was called up by the Yankees from Columbus the day Bobby Mercer retired. He'd been with him prior to that, but had been sent out. And he's not only won a spot on the roster, he's in the lineup, he's hitting third, and he's leading the league at .338. That's drilled to the gap in right center field, and it is off the fence. Randolph was running all the way, so he is being waved in. Whitaker's throwing to Parrish is not in time on a double by Mattingly.
First game I went to, May 30th, 1956, Yankee Stadium. We drove from Long Beach, Long Island to the Bronx. Almost took 2 hours. And as we came up into the Bronx and Jerome Avenue, my dad said, there it is. And, you know, I'd seen games before, but on TV. And there it was, and it like ate up the Bronx. It was the biggest thing I had ever seen in my life. And it had that great roof, that green copper roof, and the breeze was just blowing all those pennants in the roof, you know, just going like that, telling you which way the wind was blowing. And I had my glove and everything, and I sat like in between third base and home plate, like real close.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Braves trail 9-0. We head to the top of the 8th inning. For some odd reason, we're going to waste bullets of Joe Jimenez here. Laureano will finally come in and play right field for Soler. First pitch on the way, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Thought that was really strange that all they did was talk about, well, you don't want to wear him out, da-da-da-da. It was 9-0. He's over there clunking around and falling all over himself, about to get injured. The 0-1, outside wide, 1-1. Churio 1 for 4 on the day. You missed the news earlier. Michael Harris began his rehab assignment tonight. AAA Gwinnett. He should be on schedule to come back when he's first eligible on the 14th. The 1-1, down and away, 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Kicks and fires, swung on, chopped it foul back behind home plate, 2-2. The 2-2. Grounded it foul in between home and third. The 2-2. Swing, fouls it back. Do it again. Kicks and fires, swung on, grounds it through the hole. It's to be a leadoff single. Kelnick kind of boots the ball around, and that's going to turn into a two-base beginning for the Brewers. Should be a single and then an E8. He's even starting to struggle with the glove. He's done a couple of things like that here recently. Remember, about a month ago, we were talking about, man, this guy would be in line for the Gold Glove, but he's had some really questionable defensive plays there of late. Mitchell comes in, stands at the plate, takes the first pitch up top for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0, right there for a strike, 1-1. Some interesting guys that have been released, and you can pick these guys up through waivers. That's the only way to do anything now. There can be no trades. It's not like the old system where you could drop a guy, get him through waivers, and then try to work out a trade in August. That can't happen anymore. 1-1, swing and a miss, 1-2. Adrian Hauser and Ty Adcock hit the waiver wire this past weekend. Hauser's a guy that some folks might take a look at as an innings eater. The 1-2. Foul back out of play. We'll do it again. Giovanni Gallegos, a former closer for the Cardinals, St. Louis released him the other day. Chasen Shreve was released by the Yankees, but he was picked up, I think, by Colorado. I saw he was picked up the other day. The Astros released Eric Lohr. The 1-2, chop foul. Down towards the tarps. Do it again, 1-2. Runner at second, nobody out. The 1-2 from Jimenez. Swung on, grounded over to first. Olsen will step on the bag, one away. On the play, runner from second moves down to third. So any kind of a grounder or fly ball or whatever is going to make this a 10-0 game. The Braves, no, I stand corrected. Jesus, what are they doing? Braves are going to play with the infield in, trailing 9-0 in the 8th. You can't make this up. That's not the play. That's not what you do. First pitch to Contreras is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. That is the analytic dorks getting involved in this, because you play back because you're just trying to get outs, because you're trying to get out of this game and not waste a bunch of meaningless pitches from your bullpen. The 1-0 swung on, banged down the third base line. That'll get through the drawn-in infield. If the infield is back, it's a 5-3 putout. Instead, it's 10-0, and it'll be a double for Contreras. So another bad job by the Atlanta Braves strategy team, as they call them nowadays. You don't play with the infield in, trailing 9-0 in the 8th. Maybe if it's in October, but that's the only situation. Adames comes to the plate. First pitch misses high. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swing. That ball's blasted. High and deep. Going back. On the track. Crashing into the wall. Making the catch is Kelly. He drops it. The runner will move up to second to third, 2 away. I mean, Kelnick is just a disaster out there today. I'm thinking they all had a hurricane party last night. They thought this game was going to be rained out, because they are just oof. Did see an interesting stat, though. The other day when the Braves, Darno and Olsen, hit back-to-back home runs twice in the same game. So first of all, that was just the third time that's happened in Atlanta Braves history since they moved to Atlanta. Oh, good Lord. Are they really challenging this play? It's 10-0. Let it go, guys. But the Darno and Olsen double home run game, back-to-back double home run game, the only time that's ever happened in Braves history was in June 13th, 1998, Javi Lopez and Andrew Jones. And in August of 1993, where Fred McGriff and David Justice did the feat. The other interesting statistic on that It was the 23rd instance of teammates hitting back-to-back home runs twice in the same game since the expansion era in 1961. And I was actually surprised that it had happened that often. I thought that would be a really rare feat. But 23 times in the last 62 years, and I get it, or 63 years, I get it. There's been a lot of games, but it's a really rare feat. I mean, they're taking an incredibly long time to review this play that is meaningless at the grand scheme of it. This is a bad job by Major League Baseball. I'd say it's taken so long because anyone who was in charge of watching this game probably went on a smoke break or took a nap or... Good Lord. They're finally coming back with the verdict. They're going to say that he dropped the ball when he slammed into the fence. So what that'll do is put runners at, I think, second and third. The runner was halfway from between first and second. Let's see what they do here. No, they're going to put him on the corner. So it's a long single is what it is. First pitch on the way is inside for a ball. It's 1-0. Righty-righty matchup. Right there for a strike, 1-1. The 1-1. Kicks and fires. Swing. That ball's hammered over to short. It's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. That's called karma. When you go and challenge that nonsense in a 10-0 game, that's karma, baby. We'll be back in a flash.
What are some things that when you were younger, if someone had them, you thought they had money? I didn't grow up poor, like we didn't have food poor, but I grew up in a mobile home. I grew up with like, we don't have money for that poor. Like we had ice cream in our fridge, but it was like the bucket with the red handle that was like white with like different, like red swirl in it. And the swirl was like almost like crunchy. When I was a kid, if you had any of these three things, I thought you were rich, like rich. The first one is a waterbed. If you told me that you had a waterbed, I thought you were Bill Gates. The second thing were these Breyers or Good Humor, whoever made these Viennettas. It's like a frozen ice cream dessert. Like, ooh-hoo! And the last thing is stairs. If you had stairs in your house, it's over. Rolling in money.
Is Gen X okay? No, seriously, are you guys okay?
What kind of stupid question is that? We're fine. It is a cakewalk. We got like 900 TV channels and Prozac. We didn't have anti-bullying campaigns. Our parents bullied us. The school had to take our pictures and fingerprint us in case we got kidnapped. We were like 30 years old when we were 12. Already smoking cigarettes, drinking our parents' liquor. We are older than Google, and no one had to tell us not to eat laundry detergent. So yeah, I mean, we're okay. We're okay.
There's a drive. Deep right center field. That ball's got a chance. It's out of here.
You can't imagine what it's like. And it was the green, this grass, that just went on forever. And the clay, the infield, the dirt of the infield was so brown, and the bases were so white. And the scoreboard with all of that news, what was happening in Detroit, and all the news. It was the news center. It was this big, gigantic place, and it was 461 feet to the center field fence. Then they had monuments, and I thought Babe Ruth was buried out there. They were like big tombstones. There was a great deal of respect in that building for the past.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Yeah, John, to the reason why I think it was John that was asking why it was called now because he dropped it. Yeah, so technically you have to be able to transfer the ball from your glove. But you just rarely see that ever reviewed in a 10-0 game. Most teams just want to get on with it. Let's go. Whit Merrifield will lead off the inning. I swear it feels like he's led off every inning. That's the way it goes. I don't know. Somebody asked. I can't remember who it was, John. First pitch on the way is high and out of the zone. It's 1-0. On this date in 1890, so 134 years ago, two things happened. John Riley is the 1-0 pitch, outside wide 2-0. John Riley for the Cincinnati Redlegs hit for the cycle, and it became the first player to hit for the cycle in National League history. The 1-0. Fouled down the line, 2-0. He would hit for 2 cycles in that year. Also on this date in 1890, Cy Young wins his major league debut with the Cleveland Spiders. 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 2-2. Cy Young would go on to win 511 games in his 22-year MLB career. The 2-2. Swing. That ball's laced into left field. That'll get down for a base hit. We'll see if this button still works. Jared Kelnick comes to the plate. He's 1 for 2. First pitch on the way. Swung on. Pops it up. High in the sky. Lazy fly ball into left field. 1 away. I mean, can you bat him further down in the order? He is struggling. I don't know if you can get him lower than 9th in the order, but we got to look into it. The whole team is struggling, but that is bad. First pitch on the way to Laureano is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Laureano in for Soler in the 10-0 game. If we score, do we go for 2? That's the biggest question here. The 1-0. Outside wide. 2-0. New pitcher on the mound, it's Ross. Ross was actually a starter against Atlanta in that last series. Joe Ross. They have pushed him back to the bullpen with the addition of Montas. The 2-0 pitch swung on, hit hard on the ground. Line drive. They're actually going to get it before it hits the ground. L4 Terang makes the catch. Hard hit ball. One away. Man, he hit that ball in the screws. That alone would make me tempted to start him tomorrow. Anybody but Rosario, and at this point, you may want to give Kelnick the day off too. First pitch on the way to Riley is outside wide for a strike. It's 0-1. Austin Riley. 1 for 3. The pitch. Chop foul off the plate. 0-2. Colorado has taken a 4-2 lead over the Mets. How about that? They're in the 4th. We'll be seeing those Rockies come Friday night. The 0-2 pitch. Outside wide. 1-2. Standing on deck is Ozuna. In the hole is Olsen. Couple of grand slams and a bloop and a blast, and we're back in this thing. Don't go anywhere. The 1-2. Lets her go. Outside wide. 2-2. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Joe Ross comes in the 4.91 ERA. Colin Ray exits 7 innings, 9 strikeouts. The 2-2. Swing, pops it up. High over to the first base side, foul territory. Just out of play. About 3 rows back. We'll do it again. Colin Ray is not a strikeout pitcher, y'all. He had 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 walk, and 9 strikeouts. He's a good pitcher. He's a solid number 4, number 3 type pitcher in the major leagues, but he's not a 9 strikeout pitcher. The 2-2 up top misses, 3-2. So a full count to Riley. The payoff pitch. Swing. That ball's laced towards the right field side. Is it fair? If it's fair, it's trouble. Bounces into the stands. Just missed the line. Take a closer look at that, but it looked like it missed by about 3 to 4 inches. About what home plate umpire Carlos Torres has been calling strikes all night long. $10-0 your score, bottom of the 8th. Ross comes set, brings it. High and inside, ball 4. So Marcell Ozuna come to the plate. 2 on, 2 out. Ozuna, there's no telling what he said to home plate umpire Carlos Torres or what Torres is saying to him, but they are definitely having a conversation. Ozuna's saying it with a smile, but he's definitely having a conversation. Snicker finally woke up. He's standing at the top of the steps. I think he's worried that Ozuna's saying too much. 2 on, 2 out. First pitch to Ozuna. Right down the pipe for a strike. It's 0-1. Ozuna's got to know one thing now. Whatever he said or whatever Torres said, he's not going to get anything in his direction. So if it's close, you got to swing at it with 2 strikes. The 0-1. Down and away. 1-1. Slider in the dirt. The 1-1 count. Chris Sale day tomorrow, thankfully. Wipe the stench of this off, not to mention the fact that terrible outing by Max Fried on Sunday. Of course, I just think that was all rust. The 1-1 to Zoo. Swing. Chops it over to third, and they won't get the hit. We won't get the lucky bounce off the bag, and that'll end the inning. Steps on the pillow. Braves put 2 on, but can't get them across. We head to the 9th inning, trailing 10-0.
Let me be great. Now, most of y'all know good darn well I ain't got no tatas. I got a tank top on up under this thing anyway, because this Georgia weather is as bipolar as my mama, and it gets hot. But you can't, I ain't got nothing. The Lord did not bless me with rhythm, and he did not bless me with no tatas. Okay? Probably because he knew I would take the rhythm and tatas and find a pole somewhere.
Hey, do you want to hang out tonight? Yeah, sure. What time were you thinking? I gotta run home real quick, so why don't we meet up around 9 o'clock? 9 o'clock? Yeah. PM? Yes. Tonight? Yes. On purpose? Yeah, I was thinking that maybe we can get together at 9 since it's early in the night. That's early? Listen, just come on over and then we're gonna meet up with my friends. They said the door opens around 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock? Yes. PM? Oh my God.
I love the game because I grew up in New York City in the late 1940s and 50s, which was the greatest intersection of baseball and place in history. We had 3 major league teams. All of them were good or great. Between 1947 and 1956, a New York team was in the World Series every year and won.
Now it's the 10th inning. Pitcher Bob Lemon works hard on Willie Mays. This time, though, he walks you. You want to steal second, and you ask for the sign from Leo.
Duke Steiner, Dodger center fielder, is the hero of this game. Steiner's double to right in the first inning drove in 2 runs, and the Brooks were off and running. Boom, another double for Snyder. Hail the Duke of Flatbush.
Baseball was almost a private possession of New York City, and you'd walk around through the city in October, and the sounds of baseball were everywhere, from cab radios, taverns. People come out of taverns. During the season, a man come out of a tavern and say, Campy just hit one. You were aware of the ribbon of baseball going on around you.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Luke Williams is going to come on and pitch. Why the hell not? But once again, this is why you need David Fletcher. If we had David Fletcher, we could have put him in this game around the 5th inning. At least it would have been entertaining to watch him throw that knuckleball. First pitch from Williams is I don't know what the hell that was. For a ball, it was 1-0. Wasn't quite an Ephus pitch, but it damn sure wasn't a fastball. The 1-0 slammed into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Rosario cuts it off, flips it back into the infield. Phillies and Dodgers are about to start up here in a little bit, so if you're up late, go Dodgers. Don't say that very often. First pitch from Williams is a 53 mile an hour. It's not really a knuckler. It's not really I'm just going to call it a lookie because that's the only thing I know. They're not even putting it on the screen. The 0-1. Lookie outside, 54 miles an hour, 1-1. It's kind of bending. It's kind of twirling, but it doesn't have any real movement. And a true Ephus pitch balloons up and drops down. The 1-1. They're calling that a slider. 55 mile an hour slider. 2-1. Come on now. Playing loose and fast with the term slider. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on, popped back foul. 2-2. Sal Frelick is 1 for 4 on the day. The 2-2. Outside wide, ball 3, 3-2. So a 3-2 count. Runner at first, nobody out. Pitch on the way inside. Ball 4. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Lukey throws a lookie, hits the right-handed bat of Ortiz, and the bases are loaded, nobody out. I mean, he's not even really pitching. Some of these guys that you'll see come pitch are actually throwing the ball and trying to aim it. He's just kind of flipping it up there. It's definitely not a knuckler because it's moving. It's spinning. So I don't know what in the hell that's supposed to be. But anyways, throws another lookie on the outsides. Well off the plate, it's 1-0. Torres should have just start calling everything strikes to be a jackass. The 1-0. Outside wide, 1-1. That is not a palm ball, John. Unless you're defining something else. The 1-1. Swing, pops it up. High in the sky. Palm balls are like drop pitches. They're almost like a splitter or a change. A 1-2 count. I'm thinking Luke Williams lied to everybody and told them that he'd pitched before. The 1-2 pops it up high in the sky. Can of corn, caught by Olsen, 1 away. So Luke Williams will officially be in the record books in Major League Baseball of getting an out and having, no matter what happens here, he will have an actual record, an ERA, a whip, all that stuff. The first pitch on the way, swung on, pops it up. High in the sky. Coming in, making the running catch is Laureano. He'll fire it in the infield. 2 down. If he gets another out here real quick, everyone will be on Twitter asking why Luke Williams isn't a part of the bullpen. There will be at least one idiot on there. They're going to put him in the rotation. Mitchell comes to the plate. He's actually laughing coming to the plate. First pitch on the way. I don't know if he knows Luke Williams. That pitch actually looked like a pitch. It's outside wide, looked like a changeup missing. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swing. That ball's hammered into right field. Making the catch is Laureano, and Luke Williams pitches a shutout inning. We found ourselves a setup man. We'll be back in a flash.
Any attempt to restrict drinking and driving here is viewed by some as downright undemocratic.
When a fella can't put in a hard day's work, put in 11, 12 hours a day, and then get in your truck and at least drink 1 or 2 beers.
They're making it laws where you can't drink when you want to. You have to wear a seatbelt when you're driving. And pretty soon we're going to be communist country.
Armchair.
One of the biggest scandals in baseball history is the throwing of the 1919 World Series by the Chicago White Sox. Even though all 8 players who were accused were acquitted in 1921, Judge Kennesaw Mountain Landis handed down a lifetime ban that included the Hall of Fame. Shoeless Joe Jackson should be reinstated and put in the Hall of Fame. Reason number 1, his stats during the series. His 12 base hits set a series record that wasn't broken until 1964. He led both teams with a .375 batting average in the series. He committed no errors and threw out a runner at home plate. He also hit the only home run by either team in the series. Reason number 2, he never took any money. On 2 different occasions, he refused a $5,000 bribe even though it would have almost doubled his salary at the time. Reason number 3, he tried to tell White Sox owner Charles Comiskey, but Comiskey refused to meet him. Reason number 4, years after the scandal, the other 7 players confirmed that Jackson was never present at any of the meetings and his name was mentioned only to give them more credibility to the gamblers. Reason number 5, a lawyer manipulated him into signing a document he didn't fully understand. Jackson never learned to read or write, so there was no way he knew what he was signing at the time.
All tied up in the 8th, Mickey Mantle facing Preacher Rowe. The Oklahoma Kid parked it in the left field seats.
Watching it on TV in New York with Willie, Mickey, and the Duke, and the arguments on the corner, you know? And that was it.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. You're in the chat here. It's Braves Country After Dark. It's what happens in a 10-0 game. It's a little lewd in the chat. That it's 10 p.m., so if you're too young, you ought to be in bed by now. Braves one last chance. We score a run, man. Are you kidding me with this? We have not scored a run since the 3rd inning Saturday. This must be what it's like to be a White Sox fan. First pitch on the way to Olsen is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. I was hoping maybe Milwaukee would send one of their infielders to go pitch to us. The 1-0. Chop foul. Slider in the dirt. 1-1. I have to double check. Okay. At first look on the replay, I thought Matt Olson had actually hit that ball on the bounce like a cricket. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Blew it right by him. 1-2. Ross is still out there on the mound. The 1-2 to Olson. Ross brings it. High and out of the zone, 2-2. I mean, we can make anybody look like Sandy Koufax. It's raining in Colorado. Man, they better slow that rain down. Rockies have the lead. We don't need a rain out. The 2-2. Swing. Fouls it down the line. We'll do it again. They have hit the middle of the fifth, so that's an official game in Colorado now. You don't see a lot of forfeited games anymore there. They normally just pick up where they left off the next day. The 2-2 to Olson. Good Lord. Did Olson get a piece of that? I guess he did. It looked like he had swung and missed and the ball had hit his leg, but I guess he just got a piece of it. Yeah, he just got a piece of it. Man, that hit him right in the knee, too. So a 2-2 to Matt Olson. Not many left in the stands. The 2-2. Swing. Lifted high. Not very deep. Into right field. Dropping into the glove of Sal Frelick. One away. Luke Williams is an infielder, Charlie. I see the question. Luke Williams came up several weeks ago, but he rarely gets in the game. Normally, if he gets in the game, it's for pinch running duties. He was playing somewhat regularly as the first pitch on the way, swing and a miss from Garcia is a strike. On the outer cut, it's 0-1. When Austin Riley went down for 2 weeks, he got in the game quite a bit. The 0-1, right there at the knees, 0-2. That's when Zach Short was with us. So Short normally got the start, but sometimes they would put Williams out there. The 0-2 to Orlando, he's over. Does have a walk. The pitch swung on and chopped foul. Orlando Arcia batting .224 on the year. He had heated up a bit, but he's starting to cool off once again. The 0-2 to Orlando. Kicks and fires. Swing. Pops it up. High down the right field line. Will it stay in play? It will not. Oh and 2. Oh, 2 count. Righty. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Braves are down to their last out. Travis d'Arnaud, you're our last hope. Try to get on the scoreboard for the first time since Saturday afternoon. Dodgers and Phillies just about to start. Kershaw versus the Phillies. First pitch to d'Arnaud, swung on, hit hard on the ground. That's going to end it. It's going to be a 6-3 ground ball to end the game. Braves lose. This is probably the worst one we've done all year. This is the pits. Elder was terrible. The Braves offense did absolutely nothing. We got 6 hits that were scattered throughout the game, and not to mention the fact that defense really let us down. Nothing you can do but just burn the tape and get ready for tomorrow, because Chris Sale will be on the mound, and we will see you tomorrow. I ain't going to eat up the rest of your night, guys. Have a great night. Get some rest, and if you're in harm's way of Debbie, take the proper precautions. It is dumping a ton of rain wherever it's heading. So if you're in that path, buckle up. We'll see you tomorrow night. Y'all be safe. We'll try to get off the schneid.